Alright guys, so we're gonna be unboxing and just having a close look at these two Z890 motherboards. One is the Gigabyte Z890 AORUS Master. The other is the ROG Strix Z890-A gaming Wi-Fi. Now both of these motherboards are of the Z890 chipset. That means they support the Intel Core Ultra desktop CPUs. So why I've decided to pit this motherboard against this is because both of these are actually of a different price. This one, the AORUS Z890 Master, is 20% more expensive than this one. But by the end of this video, let me know in the comments which motherboard do you prefer, because the feature set is very different. So let us unbox them. So first, let's open the Z890 AORUS Master. So first, let's go with the motherboard. Okay. Okay, this is it. Black color scheme. All right, not bad so far. And we will put this down over here. Let's open up the ASUS. So different color scheme over here. And the, the plastic in the ASUS is thicker than the one on the Gigabyte. Oh, so there's one more thing which is better in the ASUS is they've given you this foam for the back. That's a really nice touch. I wish the Gigabyte also had it. Weird, because this one, the Gigabyte, is 20% more expensive than this one, but it is ASUS that has given you the back foam. So it's just nice to have. So we will place this right over here. Now let us see what is in the box of the Z890 AORUS Master. So this is the wireless antenna. It's non-adjustable, but it is magnetic. Let's see the Wi-Fi antenna in the ASUS. This is the one in the ASUS. Oh yeah, definitely feels much better. It is also adjustable. Yeah, this is also magnetic. So here are both the wireless antenna. So by the way, both the motherboards support Wi-Fi 7. So yeah. Now let's see what's inside the Gigabyte box. Okay, here we go. This is the temperature cable, actually, not bad. This is another temperature cable. So this basically has a thermometer at one end. So you can place it anywhere in your cabinet to monitor the temperatures of that spot. This is the speaker, the beep speaker for the motherboard. Oh, this is something really interesting. So this is a fan that is meant to cool the RAM. So yeah, this is the first time I'm seeing a motherboard have that. I know that now motherboards come with that. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this works. So you have two SATA cables, and then you have the G connector. You get the AORUS stickers. You just get this little thing, and you get an installation guide. You don't have a user's manual, which I don't know why motherboard manufacturers have stopped giving you the user manual. It's always nice to have that booklet because it is really, really informative and tells you a lot of information about the motherboard circuit. So let us look at what's in the box for the ROG Strix Z890 Gaming A. So the packaging of the ASUS definitely feels more premium. Oh, you get the ROG keychain. Yeah, I love these ROG keychains. They're really good. I actually use one for the keys of my motorcycle. So here, neatly packaged in the ASUS, where we have all the box components in one bag, whereas in the Gigabyte it's all separate. So here is also a quick start guide. So this is not a user's manual. Again, it's disappointing to see that motherboards don't come with user manuals anymore. But this is nice. I mean, you have all the markings and everything. But I would have loved to see a full-fledged user's manual. This is a note about the ASUS web storage. And these are, oh, these are some nice stickers. So let's see what's inside this. So two USB SATA cables. This is the M2 rubber. Yeah, so all the bags are marked. You know, it's marked. Whereas that's not the case with the Gigabyte. Here you have another M.2 rubber. These are the cable ties. Another M.2 rubber. This is the thermal pad for your M2 drives. And this is a M2 quick latch in case if you end up messing up the ones that's already there. So now that we've seen what's in the box, let us go through the motherboard. So, okay, we will start with the more expensive one, which is the Gigabyte AORUS. So first, let's take a look at the ports. Here. So in the Gigabyte, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 USB 3.2 Gen 2 ports. In the AORUS, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 USB-A Gen 2 ports. You get two Thunderbolt 2 ports in uh, the Gigabyte, and you get two in the ASUS. But the one in the ASUS supports quick charging up to 30 watts, so that's great. And in the ASUS, actually, you get three USB-C ports. So see, the ASUS one is cheaper than the Gigabyte by 20%, but you're getting more USB-C ports. Even though in the Gigabyte you're getting more USB-A, USB 3.2 Gen 2 ports. Yes, you get the Wi-Fi port, you get the SPDI of line out. The Gigabyte does not have an HDMI port or a DP because there's no integrated graphic card over here. In fact, what's interesting is that Gigabyte has given, if you look closely here, they've given an HDMI port here. So on the inside of the motherboard. Okay, on I think looks wise, I prefer the ASUS. Looks much better. So I'm not really a color person. Like, you know, it's not like I want a black PC or a white PC, but I definitely think this looks much better. So let's do the weight test. So now we will do a weight test of the motherboard. So why I like to check the weight is because you get to know that what components the motherboard has. Like, does it have high quality components? Has it cheaped out on the components? A heavier motherboard means more components and more better quality components. So let's check out the cheaper one, which is the ROG Strix. Let's weigh it. So here you go. So as you can see here, 1.75 kilograms. All right. 1.95 kilograms, if you can see it. So this one is 1.95 kilograms. So yeah, the Gigabyte AORUS is 200 grams more heavier than the ASUS Strix. So that's around 20%. That's around 10% heavier than the ROG Strix. So you can probably figure out that, yeah, this is the more expensive board. So when it comes to the power phases, both have very similar power phases, but there's still a lot of differences. So let us take a look at the M2 slots and the M2 latches. So the Gigabyte has the thing where you just like, can you see this? Yeah, you just like twist it and you just raise it up. And this is the sticky pad. Here's also the sticky thermal pad. And it's very easy to slot it in. You just place this here and you just go, you just, yeah, I mean, this mechanism is a little iffy. So yeah, it's placed now. Not not the best, but not bad either. The ASUS one is, you see this arrow over here? You just push the arrow up there and you just take it out. You can see the thermal pads here also. So yeah, I actually prefer the ASUS one more. It's just much more better to use. The Gigabyte one, is little, it's a little, yeah, it takes more time, but here are the two SSD heatsinks. So both of them support Gen 5 SSDs. Now we will look at the bigger SSD panel here. And so we look at the ASUS. Now, definitely, I don't prefer this because you need to use a screwdriver for this. So let us get a screwdriver. All right. Open this up. Open this up. We have to open both of these up. Yeah, so definitely the Gigabyte has a better latching system for the other M.2 drives here. So now let's look at the M.2 ports. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did I get it all? Yes. So that's 5 M.2 ports, out of which
Two of them are Gen 5 ports and the rest are Gen 4 ports.
let's look at the ports here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 ports here too. So 5 here and 5 here. So you get the same number of M.2 slots here. Now let's look at the PCIe Express slot. So the interesting thing in the Gigabyte one is that you have this button to eject the GPUs. So I like this, once you have the big GPU and then you just push this to eject it. The ASUS does not have that. The ASUS has a slightly different mechanism where you kind of push the card down and then you pull it up. The other difference that you notice in all ASUS and Gigabyte boards is in Gigabyte, the RAM slots, you see above and below. Both of them, you'll have to adjust, you'll have to kind of clip both of them into place. But this is not the case with the ASUS. With the ASUS, only the top part you have to clip. The bottom part is fixed. So that's another difference. I'm definitely seeing much more features in the Gigabyte board. But the interesting thing is that will you use these features or not? The Gigabyte board, you can overclock your RAM to a much higher speed, but I don't think so many people will use that. So the ASUS has the Supreme FX audio chip, which works pretty good. The Gigabyte, it comes with the Realtek, not the best one, like it's the mid-range one, and it comes with that Saber DSP, just one of them. Both of them support Wi-Fi 7. You get two PCI ports extra over here. You get only one here. I mean, these days, if you get multi GPUs, you don't really use multi GPUs. So if you're using a normal system, you don't really need two of them. But yeah, it's nice, still nice to have. And you get more fan headers over here. Yeah, so that is the overall quick look for the motherboard. Oh yeah, you get two USB 3.2 front panel headers and expansion slots here, but you get only one here. And that's it. You do get this meter over here, which will give you like the code information of motherboard errors if you're experiencing any. If you see the fan and the RGB headers here, so in the Gigabyte they're exposed, but ASUS on the ASUS, if you see, they're covered. So that's another nice touch. Overall, I'm definitely liking the looks of the ASUS more. I do also like the fact that I get two USB-C ports, and out of which I get one USB 3.2 Gen 2 USB-C port, which I don't get in the Gigabyte. I do get power delivery quick charge on the ASUS motherboard. This is a feature that these days so many of us use. We charge our mobile phones, our tablets, even our laptops with that, and it just sucks when you see that your PC is charging your devices really, really slowly.
Alright, so that was the comparison between the AORUS Z890 Master and the ROG Strix Z890 Gaming A Wi-Fi. Both of these boards are very different. While the Gigabyte is more expensive, it costs around 62,000 rupees, whereas the AORUS Z890 Gaming A Wi-Fi costs 42,000 rupees, so that's a 40% price difference. But the Gigabyte does offer some good features, but if you analyze the video, the ROG Strix actually offers more usable features, like it offers you more USB-C ports, it offers you power delivery and fast charging, which I think is a critical feature in this day and age, because everybody charges their phones and their devices from their desktops, and if your motherboard does not support that, it sucks. It's sad to see that Gigabyte is not offering that on its motherboard. The only place where the AORUS makes sense is if you're really into overclocking. If overclocking is your main focus, overclocking your CPU, overclocking your RAM, then the AORUS Z890 Master makes sense, because not only does it have more power phases, but it also has dedicated cooling for your RAM, and that's such a nice luxury feature, because it reminds me of the like old medieval times where the king used to be sitting on his throne and he used to have two dedicated people just fanning him. So it's kind of like your RAM now has a dedicated fan. So that's pretty cool. It's a nice novelty, and it's a nice way to show off your PC. But again, if you're not overclocking, you don't really need it. The Asus, on the other hand, has so many more usable features like the ones I just mentioned. The Asus board has an HDMI port on the back panel, whereas the Gigabyte board does not have. Now, this can be critical for many people. You know, say your graphic card goes bust and you need to use your PC. You can't do it in the Gigabyte. Like, you'll need to open up your cabinet and connect the monitor cable inside the cabinet, not on the back panel. Only that's how you can get your display to work. That is not the case with the ROG Strix. So actually, despite the price difference, I feel that the ROG Strix is a more usable mainstream. It's a better usable motherboard than the Z890, which actually is called the AORUS Master. I think it makes sense. It is more aimed for people whose pure focus is just overclocking. So that's it from my side. If you like this video, give a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. If you have any feedback for this video, if you think I need to change the format, or if you like the format, do let me know in the comments. See you soon.